What up? What up? What up, fellas?
What
Y'all
up?
got me today. I'm feeling a little different today. I'm feeling like Carl Thomas. If you don't know, I'm feeling emotional.
I'm about to say this brother said a little summer rain.
Can't let
That's what I
go.
heard was summer rain when you said it, dog.
I wish it was summer rain, but today I'm feeling
A
little
little
emotional though.
emotional. Okay, all right. Hey,
All right. So today, well, first, welcome to the show. It's your boy Griff. I'm joined again, as usual, by the two members of the Fantastic Four. My boy Kev, representing Kappas out in Charlotte. Say what's up to the people, Kev. not the hey. And you wearing red? That's kind of like you the light skinned fat Albert. No, you
hey,
know what?
there it
More
is.
more like Tom Joyner. That's who you look like.
Come
This
on now.
brother I
I
said
thought
you
we were
about to
gonna
have
keep
your
it
own
friendly
personal
today.
cruise.
You gotta call me Tom Joyner. What's up with you?
Really?
Man, it's just
Feeling emotional?
yeah. Let's just rewind this a little bit. So, like I said, we wish it was summer rain, but right today is a little emotional. So,
A
what
little
we're gonna start off
emotional,
with,
kid.
a little emotional. So, we're gonna talk about we can go back to them summer blockbusters again. They're about to release Superman, which I'm pretty excited to see. They got a lot of characters in there that they
Yeah.
don't usually include in one of those little combo movies. So this should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. But if you could take just borrow one power from the Man of Steel, which power would it be? Kev, you're dressed in red. What would you take from Superman
I
besides
think
his
if I could
his
get one
fashion
of
sense?
Superman's powers, you know, Superman always has a good, healthy head of hair. I definitely would like to
That
have my
dude
hair
said he
back.
take the super follicles, kid.
Back in the
That is
day,
not
ladies
what I
used to
was
always say,
expecting.
"Oh, kid's got the pretty eyes and the good hair and everything." But now I'm living with like one strand, gotta shave it bald every other day.
Hey, Kev,
Oh,
what we forgetting is that was his ultimate disguise. That brother would part his hair on the right when he was Clark Kent, I think, and then on the
yeah,
left when he was
left with you,
Superman.
Superman.
Hey, that fooled a lot of
I never
people.
Some
even
Like
people.
noticed
nobody
that.
knew it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey, that's two powers in one. You got the hair and you got a disguise. So that
there it is.
you walk in on somebody totally different.
There it is.
So, all right. Since I'm wearing blue, I guess I'm gonna go next.
All right.
I'm gonna say if I could take one thing, I think that it would be the strength of course. I mean, when you got that unparalleled strength, I think that just changes things. So I think that would definitely be what it would be for me. Cole, what you got?
So I'm definitely saying flight, dog. If I just walk outside and be like, boom, you know what? I want to go to Japan today. I'll be back in like 30 minutes. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna go get some ramen. If I can go outside and just poof,
So I'm gonna get some ramen from Japan.
poof, yo, like for real, son. That would
Yeah.
definitely be the one I would want is flight. You just be able to get around, it, no questions asked, never have to own a vehicle again. Hey, you come mess with me, that's cool. Catch me. Catch me. That's what I'm gonna need you to do is catch
Yeah. I mean, transportation, I mean, if you could travel from here to there like that, then
me.
that's
Yeah.
definitely a power worth having. I think with the super strength, might be able to jump 50 miles at a time,
Oh yeah, you
but
be able to jump some distance,
I
but
still like
but you don't know where you're gonna land though. What happens if you
that's
jump
true.
in and you accidentally land the Grand Canyon? You like, oh, I'm about to, oh,
Yeah, that's true. That's how the Hulk didn't care. Hey, I'm just laying where I
yeah, he
land.
didn't care because
So
he could take that. He could take that. Yep.
exactly. All right. So today we're talking about the group chat that saved us. Okay, we're gonna get into it right away. Okay, so why do you think our friendship has lasted this long? What about our friendship has allowed it to persevere over the last 40 years. Dang, that sounds long. What has allowed us to stay in this? Like, what
Well,
keeps
first,
brothers
let's say
around?
how long we have been friends since,
I think it's
in
been 40.
elementary school.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
We're
Yeah.
almost 50 now. Some of us
yeah,
are. So
yeah.
that's at least like 38 years, maybe longer than that,
I
potentially.
said 40 years. 40
Yeah,
years,
about
right
40
around.
Oh,
Right
my
years.
around.
fault. I ain't there yet.
Yeah,
Getting 10
yeah,
years old, that's being generous. I think I met
yeah,
you before we were 10, Kev, because we were in third grade.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's been a long, long, long time. Think about who else do you know that you were in third grade with that you still can have a conversation with today, or that you can talk to? Like, don't nobody
That
else
you can
understand
depend on, be there for
making a
you.
spaghetti sandwich at in lunch at Kinsville Meadows Elementary, dog. Getting that roll, splitting it open, that spaghetti in there with that pat of butter. You know, look, but both y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I would say makes our friendship last, because we can talk about things that we can't talk about with anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things that definitely makes our friendship last, because we have memories of things that we did growing up as children together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And you
Yeah.
don't that's rare. You don't have a lot of that.
Yeah. I think it's a shared, like you said, shared experience. So a lot of times when you, the good and the bad, you go through
Yeah,
something. I remember me and you. Oh no, all three of us had one particular teacher in common, and that lady absolutely hated me, and with good reason. But you know what? After school, we might sit down the driveway, sitting on the bikes. I'm like, man, I hate that blah 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 teacher, and y'all be like, yes, we all
yeah,
hate
yeah,
her.
yeah. I know exactly what you
So,
mean, brother.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We all shared in that shared trauma, but we all got to live through it together
Yeah,
because we had
yeah, man.
that shared trauma. Ken, what you think? What's the thing that keeps us together? We know the history, we know the trauma. What else, man?
Well, I put down like a couple of different layers to this answer. So one, just mutual respect that we have for each other, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Not gonna do anything to blatantly disrespect each other. Um, Another thing, we're all human. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we gotta check each other on it, right?
yeah,
Not being afraid to challenge each other or say, hey, you know, or friends, I really disagree with you on what you're saying
yeah,
here, right? Also being willing to admit our mistakes to each other and apologize, right?
Hmm.
Um, that's needed with any type of friendship. And then also just simply like checking in with each other, making sure we're doing all right. You know, we've
Yeah,
been
yeah,
friends
man.
40 years for essentially extended family, right?
Family. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's another thing I was about to say, because we not only were we friends, our families were friends.
Yep.
So even if we went to a function at, let's just say we went to a function at Miss Si's house, it doesn't mean that y'all aren't going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
We go to your house, that Kev's family might be there. Go to Kev's house, everybody's family there. You know, that's just how it was. Because
yeah,
not only were we friends, our families were friends. So we were always together doing things, and we still to this day get together and do things. Right?
yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's it,
And I
man.
loved going to Kev's house because it was like every week it was like a new episode of New York Undercover. He have Aaron Hall, Teddy
Teddy
Riley. Oh
Riley over
yeah.
there.
Yeah, yeah. I said, damn, this brother got real superstar.
What's going
Can we get
on?
a little concert in this mix right quick?
I brought over my Casio keyboard. Can you show me a little something?
Yeah. Did you autograph my Walkman?
It
All right.
was pretty cool. I missed those.
So, what role do these lifelong friendships play in your mental health? Mental health is a key buzzword today. So, how does this friendship play a role in how you basically stay grounded? You stay
I
on the
mean,
straight and narrow.
I'm gonna go back to what Kev was saying a little bit, because let's just be honest. I think that we can all agree with what I'm about to say. Now, y'all might not want to agree with it, but I think that we can all be vulnerable to each other, right? I know that I can call you and tell you something, and you're not gonna judge me because you know the I am. Oh, who the fudge I am? Ooh, sorry. Ooh. Gonna have to buzz that out. Got a little
I'm
passion
keep,
there because
I'm
I'm talking
keeping it.
about
I'm
being
keeping
vulnerable. You know, I'm talking about being vulnerable and stuff. You know, but I mean, seriously, you know, I can think of recently. I know Ramon's not on the podcast today, but uh, he was having some issues with his dad. Right, his dad went to the hospital, and he called, and I left work and went to his house because I knew that he needed me when he called me and told me that. And that's something that I know that I could do to y'all, y'all could do it to me. And that's something that's important that helps my mental health to know that I have somebody I can actually talk to about stuff because some people do not have that. And that's a big issue, I think, for mental health is not being able to communicate or get something off your chest because you feel you have nobody to talk to, right? You hear that a lot when people say they're having some kind of issue that this was going on. I just feel like I couldn't talk to nobody about it. That will eat you up on the inside. It will be a weight on your chest, definitely mentally, physically, in a whole bunch of different ways. So that I think is very good for what role y'all play in my life, me being able to vent and contact y'all when stuff's going on.
agree. I mean, we here at the Woods Finest, we're trying to create a culture of, just not creating a dialogue amongst ourselves, but our listeners and whatnot. We want them to be stay engaged and know that they have somebody to talk to. We're not therapists or counselors, but we'll keep the dialogue going. We'll give you some love. We'll spread the love, and hopefully the love will get shared with us too. Kev, what you got, man?
Mhm.
Let me just say I'm not a therapist, but if you want to pay me for being one, we
I know you will.
subcontract out for that. So you can PayPal, Cash App, whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, in terms of mental health, just we're all kind of saying same thing, just being a support system for each other, right? Um,
Yeah.
whether it's like I'm more old school, I prefer to call people, right? But even messaging, right? We all work different schedules. Some people can't respond right away. I'll at least send a message, right? If I don't hear back from you, I'm definitely going to call you, right? Just to check in with each other. Um, Sometimes we just need to vent. Griff, there's been a lot of times where just due to life, family issues, we all need to just speak to somebody so we're not
Hmm.
exploding, right? Cody, you had just mentioned something previously, for similar things that I go through. Sometimes we just need somebody that you got to talk to about certain things. So, I mean,
Yeah.
mainly just being a support system, being a friend, to be able to talk, you know, don't go crazy. You always have somebody,
You can
there to
talk
help
to.
you out,
That's it.
support
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I'll say for me, like you said, I think we all share the same sentiment. It's being able to talk about um certain things. I know I'm pretty like I think you were saying earlier we're having a conversation. Some things we like to keep close to the vest. I'm a close to the
Yeah.
vest kind of brother. I live my life close to the vest. But
Yeah.
if I tell you something, it's something important and it's something, I don't share with a lot of people. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the
Exactly.
things. It's that feeling of, all right, once I tell you, it's not going any further. Like,
Yeah. I
even the
know I can
people
talk
that
to
are,
you when it's done. Yep.
yeah, it's not going to be going
Mhm.
nowhere. We're just going to have a conversation and I can feel better about it because I've unloaded it. And then you have
Mhm.
somebody to share in that weight with you. You're not carrying that weight alone. Hopefully, we can do that with the listeners as well. But definitely amongst each other, we need to be able to share each other's struggles and our successes and celebrate each other's successes. And that's another thing. I mean, we talked about it on that end, but um, it's something that like I actively root for you guys, Kev, Cody, Ramon, several other people in our lives. I'm like, man, the things that you want to happen, the promotions, the bonds with your family, graduations, weddings, and kids, hopefully someday. All those things are worth celebrating.
What is group talking about right now?
Hey, man, my kids are a little bit older than y'all, so I mean,
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
yeah, yeah. Maybe not
Slow
for y'all
down just a
yet,
little bit.
but yeah, yeah. Pump the brakes. But yeah, yeah. All those things are worth celebrating. And I think we got to take. We have to be mindful that we celebrate each other on a daily basis. So I think that's one of the things that I look forward to. So when it's somebody's birthday or the anniversary or something, let's just make it a point that we reach out and
Reach out,
connect with
yeah.
everybody and celebrate with them. So, all right, Kev, you kind of you kind of led into this third question, which I'm ready to get into. How has technology changed the way we stay connected? And I'm jumping on this one first. I think this is just me. I think technology has done more to separate us than connect us. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm talking about with the more recent advancements in technology, not the telephone or anything like that that's been around for 100 years.
Hmm.
I'm talking about like especially with text. Nowadays, I think people would rather text you than call you because
Oh,
they
that's
don't want to have a
100%.
conversation. Nobody's like, you know what? And you know what? In a text, so many things can get
Misconstrued.
miss. Yeah, you'd be like,
Oh,
I
yes,
thought
yes,
they meant
100%.
this, but there's no tone, there's no
Oh, look,
context, so you don't know.
do you know how
You don't
many
know.
people think about, and I want you to think about this. Let's just say in the last 5 years, how many people you probably met and maybe start associating with, and they sent you a text message and you like, oh, whatever, I'm done with you. You didn't even take the time to figure out. No, I mean, I'm just being, I'm going back to what you're saying. You're not even worried or concerned with, oh, it feels like the way you type that. You know what I'm saying? Because it happens to me. It happens to me all the time. I'll send somebody a message. They be like, oh, well, I don't like the way you said that to me, but I didn't say it to you.
Yeah,
I typed it.
right.
And I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it too. But I try to. If I feel that way, I'm like, hey, can we maybe have a conversation? I need to talk to you for a second because I'm not understanding what you just said. I'm taking it. Maybe I'm taking it the wrong way, right? Because a text message, somebody be like, hey, how you doing? And you be like, what do you mean? I said hello. Why are you saying hey? Who's around you? Something wrong? I mean, that's the kind of stuff you get though, man. When you have a text only conversation with people.
Yeah,
Putting peepers back.
and it was funny because even and like you said, I made that mistake too, where I text some and I thought it was a joke. I said it jokingly, but I didn't type LOL, so that nobody received it as a joke. And
As
I
a
was like,
joke, yeah.
oh, yeah. So somebody's like, I was like, I made a comment. Nobody said nothing. He's like, well, you know, that was kind of, I was like, but it was a joke though. And he's like, you didn't type LOL in there. So everybody think you kind of, it came off as kind of hostile. And I was like, oh, I
That's
didn't
why y'all
think
didn't
about
invite
it
me to the
that way.
cookout.
So I think
Oh,
text, like I I think it's funny. A 2 minute conversation on the phone is probably worth 25 texts. You can't.
It sure
I mean, a
is.
text. You can't. There's so many details and gaps in the way people say things, and so I think it actually has divided us more than it has kind of brought us together. What you think?
I mean, I can agree with that, but I can also see how it also helps in a way, right? Because what I'm saying is, luckily for us, the core of our family sort of live in the area. I'm talking about you and me, Griff, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
brothers and your mother and your father and everybody, your sisters, everybody's here in this area, right? So you have
Right.
access to them. But
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have necessarily access to them, you have FaceTime, right? Where you can
Mm-hmm.
actually see them, which is important because sometimes it's important to see the person. I don't know if y'all remember a couple of years ago, Cox had this commercial that was on TV where they had this vest or this sweater that you could put on. And when you're talking to your loved one across the world, if you hugged it, they could feel it you know what I'm saying? So those kind of things with technology, I think assist and make it easier for people to stay connected when they're separated. But at the same time, you don't want to have a FaceTime chat with somebody that lives close to you because you don't see them, right? You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, Griffin. I understand separation because I live by the separation right now. You know what I'm saying? There's certain people I don't. I mean, I'm just being honest. Certain people I don't deal with in that way. You don't. You're not someone that we're having this kind of relationship in life where I need to deal with you that way.
And
So
everybody can't know the location of the Batcave.
that's
No, I
it.
mean everybody,
Nah,
everybody. You can't. Everybody
nah,
can't know. That's why I got to
nah.
put a
How many
bag
times
over
you
your
see
head to put the light.
Aquaman up in there? How many times you see Aquaman in the Batcave? You saw all the
Right.
other Justice League members in the Batcave. Never saw Aquaman though.
Never trusted him. Never trusted
Yeah,
him.
you know.
Cam, what you got, man?
Well, for me, just like in terms of tech, for us all as friends, I got a different perspective because I'm out of the area now in North Carolina. You guys all still in Virginia. So, obviously, when I come into town, I'll message you guys, be like, hey, I'll be here for the weekend or whatever. But even with that, still got to check on family and everyone. So, limited time. So, one thing that I love about tech for us and specifically related to the group chat, it helps me to stay more engaged and involved with you guys and simply giving us just a reason, if for no other reason than to talk to each other, right? Once
Yeah.
or a couple of times a week. And I can do so, see you guys, rather than just sending messages and stuff for things that can be helpful for upcoming shows, but I'm not going to be able to travel to be there to actually be on air and have to do things in the background, right? So I kind of like, in terms of us as friends, how tech plays a role in us staying connected because just being out of the area and not within a short travel distance, being able to
Hmm.
communicate with you guys on a regular basis. Like the app that
Yeah,
we
I agree.
use for filming these things, right? We
Hmm.
could use other things like Zoom or whatever, but unless we're doing that, when you guys were doing the shows live, you know, I wasn't able to be there. I'd be like, okay,
Yeah,
I'll send you my schedule a couple months in advance, right? Maybe I
yeah,
can travel there certain times,
Hmm.
but life happens, so
Yeah,
yeah, I kind
life
of
be
like it.
lifing, boy.
Yeah,
yeah. Absolutely,
exactly.
absolutely. Okay, so what are the unwritten rules of the crew? The kind of things that you don't need to speak on, but it keeps the harmony going. I'm gonna jump on this one too. I usually let you brothers go first, but I'm gonna jump on this one. Unwritten rules of the crew. So significant others, girlfriends, wives, whatever. Let's just say you have a conflict with them or whatever. I think one of the things that always keeps you safe is you never address it with them. Never. I don't care what they do. They call you a black alley cat to your face. They can say your mama smell like dumpster juice. What you do
Hmm.
is you talk to the guys in the group. So I would talk to Kev or Cody or Ramon, but you never approach them because it could be some misunderstandings. You approach
Yeah,
them, be like,
no,
hey man,
no,
this is what I
you
meant. This is what
absolutely
I was
correct.
saying. You never approach them because
Look,
it's always going to work
yeah,
out bad.
that's that is just like you said, your significant other, right? I think we talked about this sort of a little bit in another episode. Which one it was, I don't remember.
Yeah,
But you're someone that you bring to me and you tell me, hey, this is my wife, this is my girl, is somebody totally different than, hey, this is my friend Tanya, this is my homegirl Alicia. That's different, right? I don't necessarily have, not saying I'm going to be disrespectful to that person, but you're not introducing that person as someone that is significant to you, that
absolutely,
means
absolutely.
something to you. So if I ever get in that kind of situation, I'm just gonna say, hey, I'm sorry, maybe I said something that didn't come across the right way. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave, and I'll talk to y'all later. I mean, that's what I would do because I'm not trying to put myself in that situation. I don't want her to feel like she needs to come back to you and say, "Oh, well, your boy said da." No, your boy said, "Hey, my bad. I'm gonna go ahead and go," because
Yeah,
that's you can't come between that. I got one of my homeboys I watch UFC with all the time. I'm not gonna mention his name. Love him to death. Love his wife to death. She's a great girl. I remember I was there the night they met. First night they ever went out, I was there. But sometimes he he'll will make plans and his wife will want to do something, right? And he'll tell me, I'll be like, hey, no problem, y'all go have a great time because I'm not coming between you and your wife. Your wife y'all wake up next to each other every morning. I'm not gonna be there. I'm not making you breakfast on Sunday. Don't call me, tell me you weren't jerk chicken for dinner. I'm not doing none of that. So I gotta respect that, and then I gotta respect the fact that this woman does all these things for you because we, like Kev said, we extended family. Y'all my brothers, man. And if she's taking care of my brother and making my brother happy and doing what he needs her to do, I have no reason to get in the way of that. I would never try to get in the way of that. So I'm definitely with you on that, Griff. Definitely with you on
Yeah.
that.
Kev, you got one?
I just put down two, and it's full just don't violate, right? So don't violate family members, don't
Hmm.
violate relationships, so wife, other significant other, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think those are the biggest unwritten rules of the crew. Um, the other kind of goes back to, I guess, why the friendship has lasted this long and just mutual respect. And I think if you have mutual respect for someone, you're not going to violate, you know,
Yeah. That's
family or significant others.
But what if it's a misunderstanding? What if you do something that you don't even know about that offended somebody else? Then what?
well. See,
I
that's
think
what I was
then
gonna
you
say.
need to speak to your friends about it to
Yeah.
clear it up, because if it's a misunderstanding, you're probably not even going to know it's a misunderstanding until your friend hears it from their spouse or significant other.
Yeah, because what
Uh,
I was gonna say is that I think the unwritten rule is that nothing there's nothing that we can't discuss. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we might have disagreements. Sometimes we might have arguments. Sometimes we might have verbal fights. Where is it? Oh no, forget you. Or they forget you too, sucker. That type of
we've
stuff.
had physical fights back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We've
To
all
be
fought each other.
completely honest, yeah. But the thing is that we've always been able to come to a point where we realize that we need to talk about whatever it was and get past it because there's nothing that has really happened between us that I can think of that has been we can't be friends no more. We can't do this no more. You know what I'm saying? And most of the times it's a misunderstanding or something happens that that the other person don't have no control over. Sometimes things happen, man. And that's just the truth. That's how life works. But
I'm glad you.
I think. Go ahead, Graham. I'm sorry. No, you good.
So I'm glad you said that. So, what happens if there are people close to you who, let's just say, you had a disagreement with or some type of at what point do you say, I don't think it's good for me to engage anymore? At what point do you say, you know what, I gotta step back and eliminate myself from the equation? When do you do that? I know
Well,
that's a hard one. I know
look,
it's hard.
it's a hard one, but let me tell you. Something. Let's talk about that.
Okay. All right.
The thing about that is that often people will give you signs telling you that you need to leave them alone, telling you that you need to leave them alone, and you don't want to recognize it. Like if you ever talk to someone and say, well, this is how I feel about this, and I want to discuss this with you, da, 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 and their response is, well, I don't feel that way. And what I mean by that is that if you're trying to have a dialogue with somebody and they're not trying to talk back to you about it, they're already telling you where you are with them. And it's not a slight on them. It's not a disrespect on them, but they're telling you you're not worth the time it's going to take for me to have this conversation with you. To me, you're not that person. Okay, that's cool. But when you call me again in 2 weeks and and this is going on, I need somebody to talk to, but I'm not that person for you. Because when I wanted to talk to you, you didn't have time to talk to me. Right? So it's just people will tell you who they are, show you who they are, Think about how many times you met a woman in the past and she told you about something that happened with her and her ex-boyfriend. And then 6 months down the line, when you dating her, you just think you that dude, and the same thing that happened to her ex-boyfriend happening to you. You the guy that did this to her and did this to her and that and did that. And it's the same thing she told you happened with the other dude. Isn't that a coinky dink? But no, she
Mm-hmm.
was telling you who she was.
Yeah.
You were just blinded. Sometimes we get blinded by things. So yeah, that you just gotta pay attention to them signs, man.
I
That's what
always
it
think about
is.
that line that Jay-Z used to say, you can't change a player's game in the ninth inning. Once you get to a certain point and you've seen the continued patterns, the person they've already, like you said, they've already shown you who they are and who they're gonna be. It hurts because you love them. At least
You
for me,
invested, yeah.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
you.
Like you would do it, and I'm not talking about one specific person. I'm just talking about there's several instances. I'm like, man, you actively root for these people. You would do anything for them, and I just don't feel like it's reciprocated. And that's just one of those things that
And that's
I
that's
think is
not that's
hard.
not asking too much. You know what I'm saying? That's really, in my opinion, asking someone to treat you the way that you treat them is not that's not asking too much. Especially when you're asking these things of me. It's not like I'm just doing it to do it, right? When you call me and say, "Hey, I need help with something," I'm there to help you. But if I call you and say, "I need help with something," hey, I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes.
Hmm.
Okay, no problem. Call me back in 10 minutes. But guess what? When you call me next time, I'm gonna need to call you back in 25 minutes. I'm a little busy right
Kev, you got anything to add?
Nah, I mean, it's good points. I think, fortunately for me, I'm able to kind of get things cleared up, whether I'm at fault for something or somebody else, just by checking on them, right?
Okay, so
It was my
so maybe this could be helpful. How do you clear it up? Like, how do you feel like you clear up situations that may be difficult to get past if somebody's not being reciprocal to what you're doing? They're
have
not
a
they're not
conversation with
investing in
them.
you like you're, huh?
Well, yeah, if they're not investing in you, then I mean, it's good points, and then I just realize it, and then I'm like, all right, well, I'll kind of move on. But I'm gonna try to clear things up to make sure I'm not misunderstanding things. So I'll try to have a conversation. But if that conversation doesn't seem to be going anywhere, or the other person isn't really willing to have a conversation with me, and it's that way for numerous attempts, then they're showing me who they are and where I stand in their life. So I,
Okay. All
I
right.
understand their actions.
Yeah. Okay. What's the one memory you always bring up when we get together? Something you think about, something that has happened in the past that you think about when we get together. So many things, so
It's
many
tough to
things.
I
bring it
mean, but
down to
there's
one,
so it's
but
like there's things. It's like individual things with us. It's things that when we were all together, that I always remember. I will never forget certain things. Like I remember me and Kev went to the mall one time in the Century. You remember the Century, Kev? And
Not the Buick, not the
the
Buick.
joint
I
the
knew you
joint
were
was
gonna
hanging
bring
down
that
a
up
little bit.
because I have that on my list. I knew you were gonna bring it up.
And Kev was like, "Yo, I'm gonna light this incense in here, man. It's gonna make the car smell good. We gonna run up in here real quick." We came back out. The car was on fire, dog.
I was there.
You remember,
I
you
remember.
remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
No, but the funniest part to that was when we were in the store, they came on the loudspeaker like, if you're driving, your
Yeah.
car is on fire. And I was like, Kev. Kev was like, that ain't us. I was like,
Yeah, well, I think that's you, dog.
that joint was engulfed in flames.
It's like
Up at Lynn Haven Mall,
that
kid.
little tree lighter, car air freshener lighter had fallen down onto the thing and burnt like a huge
You told. I
portion in
remember
there.
we used to ride in the joint afterwards. Remember when it
Yeah.
had the hole in it? We was still cruising because we had to get where we need to be.
Light him up. Okay. Is there anything else? Any other memory y'all think?
Oh yeah.
I know
What
the
about
kids got their shenanigans.
when we took Kev back to JMU
Oh,
in the
oh
Hyundai,
yeah.
and when we got to the mountains, boy, that joint said 35. Remember that? When we was going on that mountain, it was like, nah, I'm not. I'm good. I'm good right here. I'm going 35.
Hey,
Oh
that
man,
car I had yeah, it was a white Toyota, I think it was a Tercel, but it was made
yeah.
out of real steel. That junk was all like that thing was. I mean, it was built real tough.
Real.
That was real steel back in the day. That the car was old as I was, or if not older, I want to say, and
That brother said real steel.
real steel. When we got up in the mountains, that weight was too much. It can only, like you said, it can only
Yeah,
go like
yeah,
35. We
yeah,
had to wait till
man.
we got on the downslope. It got a little better. Like
Yeah, we
on
was
the
good
ones
on
going
that, so
up,
it was going up. You was like, yeah, you know where
35.
we at. You know where we at right here.
Hey, I can remember the day it broke down for the last time, and I remember what the tow truck driver said to me. He's like, "This is a piece of shit." I was like, "What?" Yeah,
Excuse
I
me,
said that
sir.
was real disrespectful to my first car, bro. That was real disrespectful. Yeah, I said, "Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy." All right, Kev, you got anything? Y'all got anything else?
Yeah, I remember at like one of our class reunions afterwards, we all went to some little diner or something like that to grab something to eat. And we had our spouses or significant others with us.
I
And,
remember.
we were talking about unwritten rules and how to, stay friends and stuff. So this kind of ties into that. So Ramon was getting into it with my wife
I
for
remember
something
that.
at the time. And overall, I was like, man, this is crazy. It's not even really worth it. And you guys always talk to me because I stood up on the table and started singing "That's What Friends Are For" and stuff like that to lighten the mood. And everybody
Oh,
all
keep
around the restaurant is
shining.
looking at us, just laughing and everything. And then we just kind of laughed it off, and it was cool. But
Ooh,
that,
it's a
and
little
then
Dionne Warwick action, kid.
you
When
know,
you know it's serious, you might as well bust out Marilyn McCoo, yeah.
and then
Kev, you said you had
another,
another one?
yeah, just kind of tying into just being friends, being there for each other. So, Coat, hope you don't mind this, but one time me and Griff were roommates, and you just needed a place to crash for a while, so we took you in because family, right? And
Yep.
there's this one scenario though that we always joke about where somebody else that was with you um,
Hmm.
kind of helped out to get us like this really nice meal one day that was
Oh
like
yeah.
completely unexpected.
Oh,
Uh, and funny
dog.
story to it, but
Hey, let me
I don't
tell
want to
you
kind of
something,
spill
boy.
all the beans on that. But
You want to talk about go back in time and tell yourself something you should have did. I should have never let that girl go. Let me tell you that right now. Something I should never did. I could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but hey, I'm hungry, and she would get up and make me a meal. Not no sandwich or nothing. She be in the kitchen,
yeah, that was a
chef,
good meal that
chefing.
she made for us
Mm,
that day.
yeah. All right. Well,
Oh,
this was
wait, wait,
this.
wait, wait. Just one. Can I say one thing before we get done with that?
Yeah,
I got to give a
absolutely.
shout out to my homeboy, Special Ops, the original party starter over there.
The
I
nicknames,
got.
those are another
Look,
thing.
I have
and
my.
he got on a GI Joe shirt today.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
yeah, man.
hey. So my memory hasn't happened yet. So this is something I always thought about, and maybe I'm projecting of something in the future. So what I always thought I envisioned happening in the future is the group, the TWF family in Vegas with our James Bond suits running out the tunnel like New Edition before we put on a show.
I love
This
it, man.
dude said like, "Oh, are we talking
With
about
You
the
like,
gotta
sorry, I'm
visualize it.
not, you're not my kind of girl running out to the tunnel? Are we talking like, yo, that's one of my all time New Edition favorites right there, dog. You can't. I mean, I play that to this day. My kids be like, Dad, why you play that song all the time? Because you don't understand
They
what's
don't
going
understand.
down, right? You don't
They don't
understand.
understand. They don't understand.
You
But
don't
that's
understand.
my but
Yeah.
that's my memory that hasn't happened yet. So I just envision us coming out the tunnel, hopefully putting on a good show for the people after we done blown up beyond our
Blowing
wildest
up.
dreams, and maybe getting like a Vegas residency for like 6 days or something.
Hey, look, we gonna give y'all all the free buffet you can handle, and $50 in tokens. Everything you go down there and gamble on $50.
We're gonna perform at the Golden Nugget, way off,
Way
way
off.
off. Yeah,
Way off the
we're not
strip.
we off the strip. Yeah. That's where
Yeah,
we're gonna
there it
be at.
is.
But selling
We're
out shows of about,
not. We're in
you
the
know.
community center in that neighborhood right outside town. You don't touch
Selling out shows right across from the Motel 6.
Yeah. We'll give you a coupon for parking validation
There it
and
is.
a breakfast at Shoney's. So that's what we're gonna do.
Breakfast buffet now. That's a
Yeah.
buffet.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
clean up.
good. Nothing but the truth out there.
There
But
it is.
all right. I think we wrapped another good one, y'all. The group chat that saved us. Coming to you live and direct from your boy Griff, Kev, Coat. It's been the Wood Spines. We look forward to seeing y'all on the very next edition. We appreciate y'all watching and see you next time.
Stay tuned.
Peace.